What's up, everyone? Thralls of Metal back again with yet another excellent EP review. I am, of course, Shredlord.
I am Rin.
I am Necrotic Nick.
And Nick, why don't you tell the fine folks at home what we will be reviewing today?
Well, what we're reviewing is a surprise. Literally yesterday, I was just kind of dicking around on Facebook, which is often, and lo and behold, Gatecreeper announced a surprise EP release.
That was creepy of them.
Very creepy. And in fact, it really crept up on us.
It did.
Shook my gate.
At midnight,
yesterday,
or today rather, they dropped a very interesting EP just kind of out of the blue. This is a true blue COVID album. Written, recorded, and released all during this wonderful pandemic we're in.
It made it all worth it. It's not true, though.
No. Little backstory about the band. They are from Arizona, formed in 2013. They have 2 other full lengths, both of which are absolutely badass. This is the first release since Nate Garrett left the band, which he left last year, I believe, to pretty much continue on with Spirit Adrift, which we wish him the best of luck with there, because that band's awesome too.
Their newest album made my top 20 of the year for 2020.
Killer. All their albums are good, so he's on a tear right now. Now, this is their first one with new guitarist Israel Garza, who is actually from the band Judiciary, which is an awesome crossover thrash band from Texas, I believe.
And he's Jewish and Mexican.
Confusing. Now, this is an interesting EP in the sense that it's kind of an homage to their influences that I guess are kind of underlying in their music. And if you're familiar with Gatecreeper's music, it is brutal, groovy, riffy as hell.
Creepy.
A lot of Swedish death metal stuff and hardcore punchiness. But this kind of leans towards 2 very different extremes, and you'll get that. This is essentially 2 sides. If you actually have the vinyl, I believe it is 2 sides. One side is almost all their grindcore and hardcore influences, and then the other side is all their death doom and doom metal influences. And you couldn't get more extreme in terms of the different styles they're doing, but it's an interesting sort of EP. And, well, right away, we get into the opening track, Starved, and it sounds like it's very hungry for meat and potatoes, because that's exactly what it is. It is grindcore, D beats, blast beats, all with that Swedish nasty tone, and my God, the
guitar
side,
tones were excellent.
Napalmy.
Oh,
Very napalmy.
Dismember, Entombed.
heavy.
It's disgusting, but very short. Like, this is pretty much the bullet train to Grindville, and all these tracks, these first 7, aren't even 7 minutes long collectively.
So the first 7 songs are all no longer than 1:20. And I hate to say, but I think they wasted some really cool song titles on such short songs. Sick of Being Sober is a great song title. Song's about 58 seconds. It's a great song. Up-tempo, kind of punky, hardcore-ish, sort of had a domination kind of feel.
Dude, the D beat is strong on this side.
That D beat's strong.
But it's a great title. I'm sick of being sober.
I mean,
It's been 5 days.
Pretty much
let it hit your lips.
what I got on this side of the album was a lot of, like, Disrupt, Dysphere, a lot of other diss bands. For some odd reason, a lot of crust punk bands have diss in the beginning, but it just kind of labors D beats and then kind of like pocket blasts, but it's still unmistakably Gatecreeper. Like, you hear it and you hear these groovy pockets, these big chuggy moments, that kind of bolt thrower-esque riffs, and it still screams Gatecreeper, but it's just fast Gatecreeper, which...
Fast creeper.
Fast creeper. It creeps up on you fast.
Sounds like a strain of weed.
Open the gate quickly.
The
The song Amputation is 31 seconds. Jesus jumped up Christ on a fucking rubber crutch.
Dude.
The song is almost as long as it took me to say that.
Yeah, actually. Yeah, that's accurate.
Did he gnaw the limo?
It's still interesting, though, within these short songs, they seem pretty adept at writing grind songs. There was only one song on here, Rusted Gold. I thought that sounded more like an incomplete Gatecreeper song. Like, there should have been more after it. But, I don't know, it's kind of an art, I guess, with grindcore. Like, it's a challenge. You have to write the most extreme thing known to man musically and keep it within, like, a minute, minute and a half. And for the most part, Gatecreeper apparently really listened to their influences, and I would definitely say there's some Terrorizer influences on here, especially Imposter Syndrome, which is just absolutely disgusting as well.
Rusted Gold did start out with a blah.
Yep. You gotta give him a nice little send-off puke.
Yeah. Much appreciated on the blah.
And Depraved, Not Deprived actually showcased some really cool vocal tricks, like the highs and lows on that I think are really good. And there is a riff in there that is very close to the March of the SOD, which I love that riff.
AZHC, Arizona Hardcore.
Yeah, dude.
Is that their accent? It's slightly less Brooklyn.
Hey, we're from Arizona.
Hey there, bud. You want to try some peyote?
Hi.
You ever fuck a coyote, bud?
Sure
I think you're
is.
confusing Arizona with Dakota.
Sure
like
is.
either one.
Sure is warm out here.
Oh, crepes, is that a rattlesnake? Oh, gee whiz.
I don't know how they talk.
Nope, I don't know. They probably talk like
I don't
us.
even think it's a real place. The last fast song we got is called Super Spreader, which is more fast and murderousness. And even the song has a little bit of whammy over my hammy.
It's my favorite dish of Denny's.
Delish.
And now it's time to go to the second half of this beloved thing, which turns itself more into the Death Doom. And it is a fucking opus. First of all, the production on this whole album is really good. The guitars are so fucking beautifully ugly. It's as if Sloth from the Goonies fucked Cher's kid from that weird fucking movie, and the Toxic Avenger just fucking doggy styled both of them. And that's what this guitar tone is, but in a weird, disgusting way, it is beautiful. It is that fucking Swedish death metal left-hand path. Definitely a Boss HM2, Dime to the Hills, and it is buzzsaw mania. And not only is it fucking heavy and crunchy as balls, but it also brings in really, really strong melodic points throughout this 10, 11-minute opus. And to me, it's the best thing I've heard from Gatecreeper. I love this track, man.
I like what they usually do, but this is really good.
This fucking track, man.
It's pretty good.
It is amazing. It is an excellent track. Dude, do more of this, or sprinkle it in a little bit, please, because it was fucking titties.
They have their slower moments, but they've never captured quite that entire feel. Like this is a big, gloomy bastard of a song. Like, it feels downtrodden.
Moody.
That funeral march, it has that funeral dirge sort of sound, like, you know, just you're fucking pallbearers and shit like that.
Horrific in the best way.
Yeah. It's glum, and you won't feel good about anything after listening to it unless you really love doom metal like us. Then you're like, wow, I'll listen to that again. I'm not depressed enough.
It's as epic and beautiful as Natalie Portman's hair if it were on fire.
Oh, Anakin, how you've grown. Now this is pod racing. Sorry.
You were supposed to be the chosen one. I love how this song is constructed. It is beautiful. Like, it builds tension in a lot of areas. Very different movements. Lots of Hooded Menace, Evoken, Ahab, Paradise Lost. I would even say they got it's more raw. All right, it's definitely more raw than Paradise Lost, but it has those gothic vibes. There's even a point where it kind of picks up the pace, gets a little double-timey, and you start hearing the church bells on there. Like,
Church bells from hell.
There we go.
It's a slow crawl up a jagged mountain of skeletons.
Dragging your nutsack through the broken bones.
And it is like Paradise Lost, the book by Dante.
It takes longer to read the book, though. You can just listen to the song and pretty much get all of it.
Kind of, yeah.
I do like towards the end, though, you get to hear a Blackened section, which this is kind of a new territory for them. Like, you hear Chase's vocals sort of take on like a Blackened shriek, and the atmosphere changes. It gets more dissonant. There's more of like that tremolo, kind of like atmospheric tremolo you hear in black metal. And all of this was like, wow, man, this is so un-Gatecreeper, like the entire thing, but it still sounds 100% like them. And I thought it was just really interesting listening to this in terms of hearing these influences that are kind of like flying under the radar. Like, you'd think all their influences would be like, you know, straightforward death metal, like Dismembered and Entombed and like, you know, Obituary and shit like that. But I can actually hear some of the kind of grind influences and that Death Doom influence and some of the regular stuff now. Yeah, Black Flag. There's definitely tons of punk on here.
Yep. Yeah. Melvins even. The early Melvins.
Yeah. I think this is a really interesting EP in terms of just like, well, what else are we going to do? We can't tour. Let's see if we can write something truly kind of creative and fun. And they came up with something really wild here, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. So overall, I'm going to give this 4 stars. I think this is an awesome album. In fact, I already ordered it. I ordered it, as soon as it came out.
You son of a bitch.
And the album cover is absolutely amazing too. I can't forget to tell you. There's like a swirling butthole of doom in the corner. It's wild.
It's probably right there. Check it out.
For all you fans of swirling buttholes.
I'm sure we have a couple. But overall, this is a fun listen. It's a really cool, again, homage. And it's not indicative of where they're going, which I'm really curious where they're going, because I'd like to hear some of these elements repeat. Just, pockmark them on the next album. But still give us,
Lord.
Lord. Gatecreeper. But yeah, get this album. It's absolutely amazing. What a welcome surprise for 2021, because everything else has kind of sucked so far. Well, not musically, but everything else.
Anyone who watches this channel knows I despise EPs. However, every once in a while, there comes an exception to the rule, and this EP was an exception to the rule. I thoroughly enjoyed the piss out of this. Even the more grindcore kind of stuff that I normally don't listen to, I enjoyed. I definitely enjoyed the Death Doom stuff, and I also am in agreement that I would like to hear some of these influences possibly infused, because they did it so fucking well. So, with that being said, I feel very confident in a 4 out of 5 too, man. Fucking solid EP.
4 out of 5 for me as well. I was not that familiar with Gatecreeper. I listened to this, and I listened to their other albums. I like them. I'm going to buy some of the merchandise.
I like them.
And I might just shave up into a mustache, because dude's got a mustache.
Chase's mustache is pretty glorious.
It's pretty cool.
It's like his upper lip is possessed by John Holmes.
Thinking about doing the mustache.
$20 says Rin can grow a better mustache than him.
That's not true.
That's not true.
Not true.
That's not true. Have you seen his mustache, dude?
It's pretty good mustache.
It's like Selleck level glory. Not quite Sam Elliott.
Yeah, no.
No.
Or Burt Reynolds.
Burt Reynolds was a pretty good mustache, yeah.
Or Kurt Russell.
Don Mattingly.
Don Mattingly's mustache. Yeah, good album. Get it. Buy it. Rub it. Rub it on yourself.
Dip your...
Sniff it.
Rub it.
Sniff.
It.
No. So if you like this video, you like what you saw, you want to see some more of us on the Thralls, smack that like button like you would your ham with your hand while watching ladies on the cam.
Woo!
Do you understand? Catch you later.